Today on Blue Values TV, find out about the new executive order by President Obama regarding immigration. Stay tuned. Welcome to Blue Values TV. Blue Values TV is a production of the Blue Values Coalition. Our mission is to educate, inform, and engage our neighbors in the governance of our communities. Look for us online at bluevaluescoalition.org. Our show today is going to be on President Obama's executive order. Now today we are not going to debate the merits, the pros and the cons of the executive order, but instead we're going to focus on what is the impact of that order and what is the effect it will have on families and how can families apply for coverage under that program. Our guests today are Flora Csontos and Amada Lopez from the Placer People of Faith Together organization based here in Placer County. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us at such short notice. Tell us a little bit about the organization. Flora has been on our show before, but tell us about Placer People of Faith Together and what kind of work they do.
Well, we've been around for about 5 years now. We're an interfaith nonprofit in Placer County. We currently work in the western half, so Meadow Vista to Roseville, and we're based in churches around the area. I've been around as an organizer for 3 of those 5 years, and it's my job to find and work with community members such as Amada. Amada is from St. Rose in Roseville, and she can tell you a little more about her time in Roseville, but one of the focuses is immigration reform for our organization. We work on any social justice issues that bubble up in our communities.
Now, this executive order that came up must have been very exciting news for the community at large. Tell us what you can about what is this executive order? What exactly does it do and what does it not do? I think the speech was very good by President Obama, but there weren't a whole lot of details about this program. Can you fill us in a little bit more?
Well, the main thing we want to highlight today is that it's a step in the right direction, and even at that, it's a very small drop in the bucket. Our initial goal as community members and organizers with Placer People of Faith is citizenship for all 11 million undocumented folks who live in this country. This executive action will affect about 5 million and will not necessarily stop them from being deported, and also will not give them legal standing, not to most of them anyway. So this is something that the community fought for really hard. We saw in a lot of the press releases from the White House language that we ourselves used in meetings with the White House, that we used with our local officials. So the message finally came through, but it's really, at the end of the day, a very small step in the right direction.
So what things are in there what things are missing in there that you would like to have seen?
Well, as I mentioned, this will cover about 5 million of the 11 million undocumented folks who are living in the country. Luckily, most of the folks I work with who are in churches and have families will benefit. The president essentially introduced 2 programs, one of which is an expansion of a previously existing program known as DACA, Deferred Action. And the other one is a newer program, which is Deferred Action for parents, essentially, for those who are in a different age bracket than the younger undocumented folks. And details are still rolling out. What we want to emphasize is that folks not pay anyone any money at this point, that they not go to attorneys even, or any folks who might be trying to take advantage of them. It's such a new announcement that has come onto the radar that there's a lot of questions still to be answered.
So there are already some people and organizations scamming people, basically, offering to do things for money that they really can't do anyway.
Absolutely.
And so be very aware of who you're working with. Now, Amada, let me ask you. You work with Placer People of Faith Together. What is the reaction of the people that you work with to this announcement, and what are their fears, and what are the things they are happy about?
The biggest worry is that folks will not qualify. Many are happy and glad because they have qualified and because they are able to be part of this process.
La preocupación es de mucha gente que se va a quedar fuera del programa.
There are many folks who will stay outside of the program, outside of this announcement that the president has made, who will not be eligible for any of the services that the program offers.
Y pues para mucha gente es algo increíble porque
for many folks there was also joy that this incredible thing had happened because there was so little hope for reform. But when it did happen, it seemed too good to be true. We had waited so long for the president to take action because he said when he started his presidency that one of his big focuses would be legalizing those 11 million.
I see. Now, as you said, only about 5 million of the 11 million people are eligible for this. But let's consider people that are eligible for this. Are people that are eligible still going to have some doubts because this is an executive order? It could be rescinded when we have a new president, or if we have a new president. Well, we will have a new president in 2 years. Could it be rescinded? And what happens if it does get rescinded? So is there a risk in people that are eligible in coming out and applying for this program?
Well, we want to encourage folks to apply now. If it looks like a success, and once people understand the implications, the massive implications that this announcement will bring, and the mostly positive implications it will bring, not only for our economy, but for our thousands of families that are involved and affected by this program, we hope that it will be so positive that it will stick and that nobody will be able to repeal it, even with a change in presidency in 2 years. From my understanding, there is nothing that can be done legally at the moment, that the president did not overstep his boundaries. He was acting with what was allowed him because of the lack of leadership that Congress has shown in the past 6 years.
So what does the process look like? The president laid out an executive order and dictated what should be done. But then what is the process by which people apply for this if they are eligible?
It differs by the program. So the expansion of deferred action, which will make you eligible for 3 years of a work permit and a driver's license.
Well, let's talk about that term, deferred action. Deferred action is what is actually going to happen in this program. So deferred action basically means that a person who may not have the documentation here in the United States will get some permission to be here legally for a period of time, a temporary period of time. That's what we mean by deferred action.
Essentially, that the action of your deportation is put off, that you are not a priority, you are now at the bottom of the list. You're still on the list, let's be very clear about that, but you are less of a priority. And President Obama did highlight that terrorists, those who are a threat to national security, are the focus, which they should have been a long time ago. And many of the families that Amada and I work with come nowhere close to being terrorists.
In fact,
or
they're
a threat.
probably a very small minority.
Oh, absolutely. These families we've been blessed to work with are contributors to our community more than anything else.
But then, okay, suppose you have an adult who is the parent of a United States citizen, a child born in this country, but the parent may have come over to this country without documentation. They are eligible for this deferred action. What do? Because right now, if they report to the authorities, they actually can be deported right now. So what do they need to do to apply for this deferred action?
Well, the short answer is we don't know yet, and the more in-depth answer is that the expanded deferred action program will start in late February of 2015. That's when immigration services will be ready to accept applications. There are no applications available yet. And the second program, which is the deferred action for parents, that most parents of citizen or legal resident children will qualify for, that will start in 3 months after February, so late May of 2015.
So right now, there is no process that's been established. People shouldn't rush out and try to apply, and don't get scammed by people that call and say, hey, we can get you applied for this thing.
Absolutely. We saw this a lot with the driver's licenses that are rolling out in California. Not here locally, thank God, or not that we've heard of anyway, but that people were charging for materials that DMV was giving away for free. People were charging for classes to study the manual, which is something you can do yourself at home. And since this is the biggest immigration change in about 30 years, I can guarantee that there will be people out there taking advantage of our community members.
But people can get prepared a little bit now. There are certain types of information that's going to be required for people to apply for this program. Can you share what that kind of information is that they can actually get together at this time?
The main two things that President Obama highlighted were the need to pass a background check and to be paying taxes to be eligible for these changes.
Filing a tax return.
Filing tax returns. So you'll have to prove that you have been filing taxes, which you can do without a Social Security number. I won't go into the moral implications of that, allowing someone to pay taxes without giving them the rest of the benefits. But you have to prove that. You also have to prove residency in the past 5 years.
And how would they prove residency?
Well, that is incredibly complicated. Some of our undocumented folks, their name isn't on their rental payment or their electricity. It's someone else in the family who pays for it. But we saw when we did deferred action, so deferred action is already in place for undocumented youth.
Right. And
that started, I think, 2 years ago. And so when we went through the process with them, people brought in all sorts of documentation, photos that had a timestamp on them, receipts with their name on it, school awards, baptismal records, really anything that has your name and date on it to prove that you've been here the past 5 years will be needed for both of these programs. I think the list also mentioned proof of residency, and if you're applying for deferred action for parents, that you prove that you're related to your son or daughter.
Right. And that can be a birth certificate or something like that.
A school immunization record, anything that has your name and their name on it.
Good. Now, our show is in Placer County, and you're here in Placer County. Is it safe for me to assume that Placer People of Faith Together will provide informational type of activities for people to learn what the process is all about and how to apply for these things?
Absolutely.
We can look forward to that?
Yes, I can almost guarantee. I can't say it with certainty, but I think we'll be the only organization working on this.
Do you have any schedule yet, or will you have that in the future?
Well, we've got one event that is definitely on the calendar, December 2nd, which is the first Tuesday in December, in Auburn. We'll be at Rock Creek Elementary School at 6:30 p.m. and we'll be talking about not only this announcement and the clarifying points, but also about driver's licenses that's for the state of California, not national, but for the state of California. And we'll be talking about where you can get your license, how much it costs. DMV will be there with us, as well as the Department of Insurance. They're talking about their low-cost auto insurance program. So this event was focused on driver's licenses, but now with this announcement, people deserve to have reliable information, so we're including this announcement as well.
And we have a flyer on that December 2nd event. There's some information about that event, and they can also find this flyer online at ppoft.org. Is that right? And there's information there. Definitely a worthwhile event to go to right here locally in Placer County if you want more information about the driver's license program.
And we can tell you how our Roseville event went last Friday at St. Rose. We had about 150 people, and that event was originally also supposed to be about driver's licenses and healthcare, but this announcement, of course, came up. I don't know if, Amada, you want to share what that event was like. Si pensó que fue un éxito el evento el viernes pasado.
Absolutely.
But it was a success. Amada is bringing up our event a week and a half ago at the Roseville Police Department, where we focused on driver's licenses. And we didn't expect as many people as we got because of the fear between the undocumented community and the police department. But the room was full. We must have had close to 200 folks there learning about driver's licenses, and it was really a great step forward in working with local law enforcement.
You know, that's one of the things that our viewers really should know, is that as Placer People of Faith Together works with our community, you are not just working with individuals in the community, you're bringing in the local police and other organizations that are officials, but you're making everything work together, where people don't have to fear working with the police because they might get deported or something like that. There's a lot of wonderful programs that your organization has been doing to make life a little bit easier for people that are here. So I want to commend you and the organization very much for that. It's one of the things that we love about the work that we do in Placer County is we can make a difference over here. So how do we make people that are going to be affected by this deferred action safe? Are they safe now, or do they still need to be a little bit cautious right now? And at what point can they actually feel safe? Is it when they first apply? Is it when they've been accepted? Or is it now? Or, you know, if I'm a person in that situation, how should I react to all of this? And maybe this is something, Amada, that you can help with too, is at what point should I feel safe?
So, con este proceso nuevo, cuando los miembros de la comunidad indocumentada, cuando se puedan sentir seguros, cuando han aplicado, cuando han recibido confirmación, ya ahora.
Wow. Yo pienso que cuando van a recibir la confirmación, porque ahorita hay mucha duda. O sea, we're happy, but at the same time, I'm not sure. Because it's something like glass. It take care. Because this program is like I say, like glass. I need to see what's going on, what happened, and people they have like a little bit scared because there's too many people. He deported to Mexico, so and not only to Mexico, it's for everywhere, you know.
Right.
But most of the people is like happy, and the another one is scared, or the another one is like, okay, I will see what's going on later. And to me, I'm fine, because I know I'm gonna have something to go back and forth to Mexico, you know, go wherever I want to go. But just I say, we need to better be careful with this program, because to me it looked like track. I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah, because this happened a long time ago here, and I hear about it, so it's like similar. So we need to better be careful with this program.
Cautious. Yeah. I think I would agree with you. This is not something that people should feel, okay, it's all done right now.
No.
It's something that's going to take a little time. The whole process won't even be set up, as you say, for about 6 more months. And then how long it takes after that for an application to actually go through, nobody really seems to know right now. So we're going to have to wait and see what the implementation of this looks like. But safe to say that be cautious until this thing is really completed. Are there some safe places that people can go to get more information about this? Besides Placer People of Faith Together, are there other sites or other places that people should feel comfortable going to learn more about this Deferred Action Program?
2 resources come to mind immediately. Our national organization, which is PICO National Network, they're part of a coalition that started a website specifically for information about this announcement.
Oh, wonderful. What is that site?
It's called adminrelief.org. I believe it's available in Spanish as well. I was looking at it the other day, and it had really a broad range of information. Other than that, the best place for information is the Department of Immigration's website, uscis.org, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services.org, uscis.org. I mean, that's straight from the horse's mouth.
Right.
You can be sure the information on there is correct and reliable.
Fantastic. And then you will be having seminars and meetings to discuss this action as more information becomes available. Are you partnering? You mentioned PICO, the national organization. Are there other local organizations that you are working with to get the information across to people?
Well, Amada mentioned the police department. So far, we've worked with the Roseville Police Department and Chief Hahn. They've been really open and inviting to meeting community members and rebuilding that sense of safety. We are in contact with all of the other police chiefs in Western Placer County, and we'll be inviting them to have similar sort of forums. Local schools have been really supportive. Our churches, of course, provide direct and immediate, reliable contact with our community folks.
And you work with a wide variety of churches in Western Placer County.
With immigration, it's mostly our Catholic churches. That's where our Latino families are. But we do work with non-Christian churches as well, interfaith. Coalition building is always a goal of ours, and so some of those folks help volunteer and will be at these forums helping us set up that sort of thing. So we need lots of volunteer help. Folks can reach out to us through the website. We need your time, your money, anything you can give us at this point.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's wonderful work. You mentioned you're working with the police chiefs and stuff. Do you foresee that as you have more information to share, that you can also get officials from the Immigration Service to actually come and perhaps present some of this material with you? Is that something that you anticipate trying to do?
Absolutely. And our Catholic diocese in this area has a legal arm as well that is starting up next year, and we'll be focusing on immigration. So we hope to bring them here as well and host several forums, hopefully in Lincoln as well as Auburn and Roseville.
That would be fantastic.
And maybe Lake Tahoe. We'll see.
Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Do you want to go to Lake Tahoe? Let's
course.
go.
Of course.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Amada, do you have any comments that you'd like to make about the order and what you feel and what you would like to tell the viewers about this action?
Yeah. Okay. Well, just I say I feel happy for all this stuff, whatever the president decision, but I don't know. I don't know, but I feel happy if there's something good. That's good for too many people. Not for all the people, but for too many, couple people. But especially me, I can go Mexico. I can go visit my family because I have a son in Mexico, and I have a son here, and my family is like, how do you say it? Separada.
Separated.
Separate. Yeah, and I feel good, but I don't know. I will say, I need to wait because when he said I feel really happy, I'm crying about it. But the thing is, there's nothing like, okay. I said, and I give it to you guys, and stuff like that. No, it's a little bit time, and the probably they're gonna happen, soon, or they're gonna take it long. I don't know, but I feel good. I feel happy for too many people. I feel like I can go like far because we come in this country for work,
Right.
for support families, not for nothing else.
Right.
But sometimes there's nothing happen like that because there's too many, like bars to go through. So
And as you say, this is a solution for about half the people. We still have the other half to work on. And so
Yeah.
there is still a challenge out there for the president, for our Congress, for our government, on what we are going to do with the other half. Because this is a
That's
good
not
step.
good.
It's a good first step, but we're not quite there yet. Flora, do you have any last comments for us as well?
Well, really just to underline that this was sort of a rest stop in the marathon, that it was a drink of water. We're not even at the quarter-way mark yet. It's really exciting for me personally to be part of, to push my 3 little years of work into the bucket that made this possible. And it's been incredible to work with people like Amada and the rest of our St. Rose group and throughout the county to see what even such a small change, what a big impact it can have.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I want to thank you both for being with us on such short notice and talking about this program. Look forward to hearing more about the informational programs that you will have for the organization. And thank you so much for the work that you are doing right here in our community, working with our people to make their lives better. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, viewers, for joining us today. And until next time, good night.